I think that I've now, at 63 years old, suddenly owned that it's not a bad thing to speak your voice.
There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her early 20s.
Montecito has seen its fair share of drama, but according to online whispers, this time the tension feels different, heavier, sharper, and aimed in one unexpected direction. Meghan Markle, who has spent years trying to rise above the swirl of public opinion, suddenly found herself dragged back into a world she thought she'd escaped. The endless cycle of speculation, old rumors, and resurfaced internet theories that refuse to stay buried. And the strange part? This latest wave didn't begin with Meghan at all. It began with Sarah Ferguson. Fergie, the Duchess of York, a woman who has survived scandals of her own, rebuilt her life, and somehow always manages to say just enough to spark a conversation without ever directly accusing anyone of anything. During one of her recent interviews promoting her newest book, viewers said the mood was calm. Fergie was reflective, warm, even nostalgic. She was talking about lessons, healing, personal growth. The usual themes she leans into as someone who has lived her life under a microscope, but then, almost out of nowhere, the interviewer mentioned Meghan's modern impact on the monarchy, and everything shifted. Subtly, yes. Softly, absolutely. But clearly enough that fans watching in real time noticed it immediately. A pause, a head tilt, and then a single comment that ignited a digital firestorm. Oh, Meghan, she's not the first young woman fascinated by royal life. That was it. That single line, neutral on the surface, gentle even, but vague enough that within minutes, social media accounts across TikTok, X, Reddit, and royal gossip forums began circling the clip like sharks who smelled a drop of blood. Then came the second line, the real spark that triggered an explosion of speculation. There were whispers, years ago, a certain summer on the water. She didn't say Meghan's name. She didn't accuse anyone. She didn't even finish the thought. But the internet finished it for her. Comment sections transformed instantly. She's talking about the yacht rumors. Is she hinting at those old Hollywood stories? Fergie knows something, that's why she said it like that. Why didn't she deny anything? Why speak in riddles? And just like that, a rumor that's been floating around the internet for years, one Meghan has always called false and misogynistic, was suddenly thrust back into the spotlight. Not because new evidence appeared, not because anyone credible confirmed anything, but because a duchess known for being cryptic uttered one vague phrase, and the internet filled in the rest. People present at the interview said Fergie didn't raise her voice or reveal any dramatic secret. She simply spoke in that thoughtful, slightly cheeky, slightly mysterious tone she's known for, the tone that always makes people wonder whether she's hinting at something more. Fergie didn't elaborate on who the young women were. She didn't specify which whispers she had heard. She didn't identify which summer on the water she was referencing. It was the audience who connected the dots. Royal bloggers immediately clipped the moment and posted slowed-down versions, analyzing her facial expressions frame by frame. Some said her eyes narrowed. Others said her smile looked too knowing. Too deliberate, body language analysts chimed in. Commentators dissected tone and implied meaning. By the next morning, the interview clip wasn't just trending. It was everywhere, pinned on royal commentary channels, shared on podcasts, analyzed in TikTok series, broken down by YouTubers hunting for clues. All because some viewers believed Fergie's words echoed the old, unverified yacht rumors about Meghan that have circulated online for years. Rumors Meghan has consistently rejected. This wasn't about truth. This was about interpretation. And interpretation spreads faster than facts ever will. There's a pattern with royal stories. The more mysterious the rumor, the harder it clings to the public imagination. And for some reason, Meghan's early Hollywood years have always attracted the kind of speculation that thrives in the absence of concrete details. Back in the early 2000s, long before Meghan met Harry, gossip blogs loved painting dramatic stories about young actresses trying to network into elite circles. Many women were dragged into these rumors unfairly, and Meghan was one of them. The so-called yacht girl rumor wasn't unique to her. The term itself is a lazy stereotype the entertainment world throws at any woman photographed near a luxury boat or high-profile event over time. These rumors mutate and spread, attached to different people with no evidence. In Meghan's case, several photos used to prove she was on yachts were later confirmed to be entirely different women. Even still, the myth survived. And whenever her name was mentioned alongside water, glamour, summer, or social climbing, those old threads would reappear. That was exactly what happened after Fergie's comment. It didn't matter that Fergie never said Meghan's name. It didn't matter that there was no proof. It didn't matter that the rumor had been debunked. What mattered was that the internet had found a new hook, A fresh clip, a new angle to repackage something old, and this time, the storm felt stronger because the person who supposedly hinted at it wasn't a blogger or a troll account. It was Sarah Ferguson, a duchess who has lived inside the royal machine for decades. Tabloids love drama, and according to them, Meghan wasn't happy. Different outlets reported different reactions. Some said she felt undermined. Others claimed she was frustrated that old lies were resurfacing. A few even suggested she considered reaching out privately to clarify things. But those are all secondhand reports. No one truly knows how Meghan reacted. What is consistent is her long-standing stance. She has always denied the Yacht allegations, calling them degrading and rooted in sexism. From a PR standpoint, it's understandable why her team would keep a close eye on this. Not because the rumor is real, but because speculation online can spiral quickly, and perception can be incredibly damaging even when the story has no basis in reality. Hollywood PR experts often warn that once a rumor gets tied to a controversial figure, like Prince Andrew, whose name appears in many unrelated scandals, it becomes even more sensitive. Which brings us to the next stage of the chaos. A day after the interview aired, paparazzi caught Fergie outside a London hotel. She wasn't asked about her book, or her daughters, or the monarchy, but about the clip. "Fergie, what did you mean about the summer on the water comment?" She didn't deny anything. She didn't confirm anything. She just smiled and dropped a line that made the internet explode a second time. Every fairy tale starts somewhere. It was classic Fergie. Playful, harmless, vague. But when a quote like that lands in the middle of a rumor storm, it doesn't soften things, it amplifies them. Creators immediately went wild. She didn't correct anything. She's teasing something. She's hinting again. This isn't accidental. Even though the line itself revealed absolutely nothing, Fergie is charismatic. She has a theatrical streak. She knows how to deliver a line that gets people talking. But whether she intended to stir speculation or was simply being herself is something no one can definitively say. Still, perception became reality online. And that brought Buckingham Palace into the conversation. The palace never comments on rumors. They don't correct social media theories. They don't clarify gossip. But royal historians pointed out that this moment arrived at a delicate time. King Charles has been focusing on unity, reputation repair, and navigating several difficult family narratives. The last thing the monarchy wants is a fresh wave of controversy connected to past scandals or renewed conversation about Andrew's social circles. No insider confirmed any palace frustration, but royal analysts suggested that Fergie's cryptic remark might not have been ideal timing. Still, it's important to repeat, no one with direct authority has confirmed anything. All commentary here comes from royal watchers analyzing the situation, but that didn't matter to the internet. Because by now, the conversation had shifted from, what did Fergie mean? Why won't anyone deny anything? And that created the perfect storm for viral commentary. Soon, two narratives took over social platforms. This group believes Fergie was referencing old rumors on purpose, either out of resentment because of long-standing tension, or to remind the world she knows things. This group argues the clip is being twisted, and Fergie wasn't referencing Meghan at all. They say she speaks vaguely in most interviews. The internet is projecting meaning onto neutral comments. Fergie has actually spoken kindly of Meghan before. Both groups went to war online, hashtags appeared, commentary channels took sides, reaction videos flooded TikTok, even podcast hosts chimed in. Nothing new had been revealed, but the conversation grew louder, deeper, more dramatic. Because in the world of royal content, sometimes the absence of clarity becomes a storyline of its own. Entertainment reporters began speculating that Meghan was exploring ways to reclaim her story again. Not necessarily because of Fergie, she and Harry already have ongoing projects, but because whenever internet rumors swell, Meghan often chooses to respond in subtle but calculated ways: a new interview, a new project, a new statement, a new public appearance. Some insiders claimed she might address online negativity in a future documentary or conversation-based project. Others said she prefers to ignore noise. No one knows the truth because none of this has been confirmed by Meghan herself. But speculation about her next step became its own news cycle. And that's when things escalated further. With a fresh clip circulating, bloggers began digging into events from years ago, especially Meghan's pregnancy announcement at Princess Eugenie's wedding. That moment, which some sources claimed frustrated Fergie and Eugenie, resurfaced as evidence of long-standing tension. Again, lots of this is speculation and secondhand reporting. But online communities love patterns, and they began stringing together everything. Fergie's interview, Meghan's pregnancy revealed timing, Meghan joining the royal family, Fergie's past scandals, Andrew's controversies, old Hollywood stories, debunked yacht rumors, press behavior, palace silence. Suddenly, everything felt connected, even if it wasn't. This is how royal drama grows. A few unproven dots get lined up into a constellation, and once it takes shape, the internet treats it like a star chart. Soon, anonymous sources, the backbone of tabloid reporting, began giving quotes. Some claimed Fergie's friends said she didn't mean anything at all. Others suggested she was tired of Hollywood-style rebranding infiltrating the monarchy. A few said she had stories she could share but won't. None of these comments can be verified, but they fueled the narrative. Meanwhile, commentators speculated about Meghan's team. Were they monitoring backlash? Were they planning a response? Did they believe Fergie's comment was passive shade? Again, all speculation. But speculation is oxygen for viral content, and the fire kept growing. At this point, it didn't matter whether Fergie was referencing Meghan or not. The rumor had become self-sustaining. Fans were picking apart years of royal dynamics. Old interviews were analyzed for hidden shade. Bloggers began dissecting 15-year-old photos. Commentators brought up unrelated controversies. The story was no longer about the truth, it was about the narrative the public wanted to believe. Because when the internet decides two people are in a feud, they'll create evidence to support it. So what really happened? Fergie made a vague comment. The internet interpreted it. Old rumors resurfaced. Meghan's name got pulled back into the spotlight. Fan communities turned it into a Duchess versus Duchess drama. But here's the simple truth. Fergie didn't expose anything. Meghan didn't do anything wrong. And most of the claims tied to this story are unverified internet rumors. Yet the drama continues because people love royal mysteries, fans love picking sides, and vague comments fuel endless speculation. The Crown didn't confirm anything. Fergie didn't clarify anything. Meghan didn't respond directly, which means the entire story exists in a space between what's said and what people think was said. And sometimes, that space is more dramatic than any confirmed fact could ever be. Because when the public wants a narrative, they'll build one, brick by rumor-filled brick. And as of now, this is the story they're building.